Hi, I'm Wes, and I have an unusual story to share with you about how I was scared to death, half naked, looking down the barrel of an M16 rifle, heart pounding, moments from pulling the trigger, 2 seconds from almost being killed, to be suddenly slapped over the head with a bizarre binder that saved the life of Patricia Ron, a 45-year-old out-of-shape woman who had a sudden heart attack caused by symptoms she didn't even know she had, to mysteriously lose over 38 pounds in a few short weeks without a sign of any health problems to save her own life. Yep, you heard me correctly, 38 pounds in a few short weeks, going from this to this, without any surgery, pills, or butt-busting workouts whatsoever. And you'll be shocked, maybe even disturbed, when you discover the unconventional method used to melt away all her unwanted body fat and miraculously boost her energy and enhance her youthful appearance many times over. Patricia was frustrated with her weight for years, following the usual advice of fitness experts such as cranking up the cardio and dieting more. But the breakthrough came from an unlikely source, from one of the top universities in Massachusetts, that would change her life forever. A method so effective and so outlandish, I quit my job and dedicated my life to spreading this unusual secret to the masses. And in the next 3 minutes, you will discover the malicious nutritional lies that not only hinders your weight loss efforts, but even worse, you could have the early signs of heart disease or inflammation right now and not even know it. Lies such as why salty foods, such as chips and French fries, are not the culprit for weight gain. Also, how certain grocery and restaurant vegetables that most people think are healthy create serious thyroid problems that add fat to your stomach area, even if you are busting your butt in the gym every day. Not to mention the counterintuitive reasons hailed by Dr. Mercola of why extreme cardio like marathon running and overexercising eventually causes heart scarring and accelerates the aging process. Or the scientifically proven truth on how fat-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, and low-carb diets will accelerate your weight because of 2 body-fattening amino acids that are lurking in most of our foods you think are healthy. This might be scary to hear, but you're going to discover the 2 acids that are injected into most foods that we've been led to believe are healthy. Both of them transport deadly trans fats right into your bloodstream, destroying the body's metabolic system and halts the production of thyroid hormones, especially in women, which results in abnormal fat storage, specifically around your stomach and thigh area. But the most unusual thing is Patricia Ron's miraculous breakthrough would be revealed when I was shipped off to serve my country in Iraq, trapped in a bunker with soldiers, seconds from almost being killed. But on the bright side, if you stick with me to the very end of this short video, you will hear some fat secret diminishing methods you've been waiting for your entire adult life. So be sure to handle your mouse with care. One accidental click could mean missing out on information that could save your life like it did Patricia's. You are going to be shown the exact fat melting system that is scientifically proven to rapidly and permanently melt away every chunk of fat off your body, dramatically catapulting your vitality, boosting your energy and sex drive to optimal levels, significantly minimizing your risk from life-threatening metabolic diseases like hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, and slow down the effects of aging on your body in as little as a few short weeks from now. This fat melting method will deliver you a total body transformation, requires no supplements, no sweaty workouts, no crazy diet plans, no overpriced ineffective weight loss products, and doesn't require any pump yourself up motivation rituals to do it. And it will work for people of any age, any body type, and in any state of physical health because the scientific method is based on sound physiology and anatomical principles. But before we go any further, I must warn you of something. The weight loss industry is filled with blood-sucking, money-hungry vultures, the sneaky marketing masterminds behind Atkins, Weight Watchers, and the infamous Beachbody bozos, the ones who have been secretly making billions of dollars off your pain and suffering, while behind your back, raking in profits, seducing you to buy their next product with more lies and false claims. But what really pisses me off is this. Everything I've studied in the past 10 years about nutrition and melting away belly fat was utterly wrong. In fact, I had to leave the country to discover the unusual weight loss secret you're about to see right inside this video. And once you hear the truth, you will immediately feel a sudden boost of energy, stamina, and youthful vitality in the first week. Imagine feeling a jolt of energy tomorrow morning like you did in your 20s. Even if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s right now, you will see your stubborn belly that hangs over your belt or pokes out of your dress completely vanish. You will suddenly look and feel 10 times healthier than you have in the last 20 years, and you will find that all of the symptoms and causes of your most major health conditions, things like hyperthyroidism, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, chronic joint pain, will all rapidly shift back to normal in a matter that is so unbelievable, so unimaginable, it would make even the most dedicated atheist look up to the sky and say there is a God. Now, the secret I'm about to share with you is so simple, so easy, that even in the next few days, the results you will see in the mirror are going to be indescribable and so astonishing that it probably sounds almost unbelievable when you first hear about it. You will likely wonder how something like this got past you in the first place. To be honest, quitting my job and putting myself in harm's way to support my country by joining the armed forces, I felt the exact same way when I was first told about the incredible scientific breakthrough about a fat-burning cycle buried in the human anatomy that Westerners, Canadians, Australians, and European countries were not privy to. At first, I thought this was a bunch of hogwash, feeding me a lot of false claims I've already heard before. But it felt unreal observing the rapid body transformations of once out-of-shape courageous soldiers on a C-130 flying home, excited to show their families how fit and lean they were. Seeing Patricia's body physically transform right before my eyes, and seeing the outrageous weekly growth of my weight loss camp of thousands of people just like you and me, all try it out for themselves and experience unbelievable, unheard of, life-changing results. I was absolutely convinced that what I'm about to share with you will give you the lean, healthy physique and confidence you either always wanted but never had, or once had and lost decades ago. But the most mind-blowing was this: it will diminish several toxins, free radicals, and heavy metals from your body to free up unused energy that will have you feeling light and young again. And not to mention, it will totally breathe new life into every bad cell in your body, addressing all of your medical problems, conditions, and diseases, and genetically lowering your age on a cellular level, similar to a 23-year-old. That is exactly what happened for Crystal in Houston, Texas. She lost more than 30 pounds and several inches in a very short period of time. She was shocked in a J.Crew dressing room when she discovered she dropped from a size 15 dress to a size 9. Or even Charles from Houston, Texas, who lost 40 pounds in 5.5 weeks and saved over $200 a month because he didn't have to purchase any more type 2 diabetic prescriptions from his drugstore. Or Linda from Detroit, Michigan, who used this simple method you're about to discover to lose over 30 pounds in her first month. Or James from Rockford, Illinois. He lost 20 pounds in less than 4 weeks while on the road traveling to work. And not only did he lose his unwanted body fat, but he also looks and feels way younger now. Here's what Jennifer from Little Rock, Arkansas says. What you shared in your presentation was amazing, especially toward the end. Before I watched your video, my doctor said I was 25 pounds overweight and my blood pressure was off the charts. I didn't think there was hope, and I thought it was over. Even though I was so skeptical at first, after you explained the science behind the technique in such an easy-to-understand fashion, I figured I would give it a try. That was the best decision I have ever made, and it has only been 33 days and I've already lost 26 pounds. That's 7.5 pounds a week. And incredibly enough, I am medically no longer considered a diabetic. I can't believe how powerful this stuff is. Thank you for sharing. Those are just a few of the tens of thousands of off-the-cuff success stories I've received, and I will reveal a few more with you in a minute. But before I do, it is important I tell you how this works and why it will not only transform your body, but also save your life. Like I mentioned before, my name is Wes, and yep, you guessed it, I'm a single dad. And here's me and my munchkins being silly in a photo I took a week ago. And even though being labeled as a celebrity trainer by my peers, rubbing elbows with top fitness infomercial gurus such as Shark Tank, Class Act, Kevin Harrington, and transforming men's and women's bodies at some of the largest weight loss camps in the country, Looking back, it almost feels surreal, and it was a humbling feeling to be labeled as the top world authority on body transformations, who has the reputation of taking the most challenging clients from other trainers and completely transforming their bodies in weeks. But I'm really no different than you. I just stumbled upon an unusual formula that radically changed Patricia Ron, a 45-year-old out-of-shape woman whose transformation, as you can see, is pretty darn incredible. And I will tell you a secret. Not only does she look and feel physically better, she is stress-free and has the childlike energy to share special family moments with her daughter and hubby. But like most of us, including myself, Patricia was still skeptical. Even though she looked physically amazing and had the energy of a 25-year-old, she wanted medical scientific proof. So she went as far as getting a full physical done at the Mayo Medical Clinic, including genetic scans and detailed lab analysis. The doctors all concluded that even though she was in her 40s, her body, from a biological standpoint, had the anatomical makeup of a 26-year-old. That's a pretty remarkable thing to be told by some of the most respected doctors in the world. But it's even more remarkable when you consider that just years ago, Patricia was an out-of-shape diabetic woman who suffered from hypothyroidism, feeling tired and sluggish all the time. Even the MRI scans were so dreadful, the doctor told her it wasn't safe for her to drive home. And even though Patricia wanted to do better, she felt too lazy and tired after work to run on the treadmill or do any type exercise at a sweaty, germ-filled gym. But she didn't realize things were that bad. It all happened so soon. I still remember my heart dropping to the floor when Patricia told me the horrifying incident that almost took her life on June 2012. Patricia was training for her first 3K marathon, jogging with her daughter at the park. But soon she noticed her training was getting harder rather than easier. As she struggled, she told herself she just wasn't working hard enough and just pushed herself harder and harder. 2 miles into a long run, she felt a burning sensation on the right side of her stomach and throbbing chest pains, which made her drop to her hands and knees, breathing harshly as if she was having a severe asthma attack. And instead of stopping and patting herself on the back for running 2 miles, which she hadn't done in years, she got up, still feeling stomach and chest pains, pushed herself to run an additional mile. And this is where everything went wrong. Patricia, who was only 43 at the time, didn't realize those were warning signs. Something was seriously wrong with her heart. 4 days later, around midnight on a Saturday night, she had a painful feeling in her chest. So painful, it was hard for her to breathe. She'd had spicy Thai food for dinner and figured it was just heartburn. She took some antacids and sat up for a while, hoping the pain would go away. But the one thing we fear most was about to happen to Patricia. When both arms started to ache, she took a pain reliever. However, a few hours later, she still had pain and began searching for answers online. Many sites suggested heartburn, but one described her symptoms as like those of having a massive heart attack. As if on cue, she immediately broke out into a cold sweat. By then, it was 8 a.m., and she knew she needed to rush to the emergency room. She even drove herself to the emergency room, suggesting her husband stay home to take her daughter to camp in case she didn't return home in time. That visit to the doctor would change her life forever. On June 6th, she would be told her BMI was over 40 and was pre-diagnosed with symptoms of heart disease as a result of her weight. 1,000 things ran through her mind at the moment her doctor gave her those devastating words. Everything was so loud inside her head that she could barely hear her own thoughts. She would leave the doctor's office in disbelief that evening. She didn't get a wink of sleep that night. She must have walked into her daughter's room 1,000 times that night, wondering if she'd be lucky enough to see her princess grow up. But then frustration and anxiety kicked in. She kept wondering, will I get to see my daughter grow up? Will I be able to accomplish the things I'm trying to accomplish, like finishing my degree and getting my business off the ground? As she watched her daughter get on the bus the following morning with a smile and a wave goodbye, she stood in the doorway almost in tears, wondering, how many more mornings do I get to enjoy this sight? Frankly, it was one hell of a wake-up call for Patricia, especially because prior to the incident, she didn't know how bad her health really was. Sure, she knew she needed to lose a few pounds. However, over time, her clothes started to feel tighter and tighter, month after month and year after year, and embarrassingly, she also noticed her stomach and muffin top was getting bigger, and before bed she would turn the lights off so her husband couldn't see the disgusting sight of the cottage cheese on her thighs and bum. But like most people, she thought of herself as a fairly healthy person. And before the daily chest pains, she was trying all kinds of popular weight loss systems, diet fads like going on low-carb and gluten-free diets. But weight loss systems like 21 Day Fix, Atkins, Jenny Craig, and Weight Watchers are all about restricting your diet, counting calories, and starving yourself. She really thought she was doing the right thing, but sadly, she was always disappointed in the end. She would complain of always being hungry at night, and what she soon discovered was that these diets forced her body to store fat. Her body was in complete survival mode. Her body hung on to the few calories she was taking in, and then converted them to fat because she was depriving herself of carbs, which is how your body refuels and gathers energy. And she thought this was probably the reason, no matter how much she would eat vegetables and exercise, she still could not drop a single pound, and her muscles wouldn't take shape because she lacked the necessary proteins and nutrients needed to grow them. She would get sick to her stomach, thinking about all the money she wasted on the Weight Watchers, Paleo, South Beach, and Beachbody diet programs that all sucked the money straight out of her bank account. She complained to me that the 21 Day Fix and Weight Watchers portion meals were just too small. She was always hungry after 6 p.m. and couldn't fight the urge to eat. And to make things worse, her doctor also found she had a significant increase in her LDL levels, which is bad cholesterol, and her body was so toxic with fat, her triglycerides levels were over 300, which is critical and could lead to heart disease. Feeling overwhelmed and depressed one evening, she fell to the kitchen floor and bursted into tears, not knowing her daughter was peeking around the corner. She came from behind the door and gently hugged her neck with her sweet, innocent voice. She told her mom the most unusual thing. "Don't cry, Mom. Jesus is going to send you a miracle." Looking confused, she hugged her daughter and cried on her shoulder, while her daughter gently rubbed her back. However, doomsday would come on the very next day. Sitting nervously with her legs crossed, waiting impatiently as the minutes tiptoed past like well-marshaled field mice in feather slippers, he said, "Patricia, if you don't lose at least 30 pounds in the next month, I'm not sure how long your heart would be able to withstand your body's current weight. Waiting so long and pushing your health to the side for so many years has caused your blood pressure to reach 160/100. Your BMI is north of 30, and your cholesterol levels are off the charts. From years of eating the wrong foods and doing the wrong type of exercises, the fat and cholesterol buildup was immense. Your arteries are in the first stages of hardening, that even very expensive weight loss surgery would be too risky at this point." Patricia was completely devastated and felt even more defeated, almost helpless, thinking to herself, "There's no way I can lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days when I haven't lost 20 pounds in the last 4 years. Now, I'm not telling you any of this to be a sob story or sympathy for Patricia. I'm sharing her story with you because everything happened so fast. Even though she didn't really think she was all that unhealthy, she thought she was just getting up in age. That is the scary thing about getting older. There is that ticking time bomb inside of you, and it starts counting down at a faster and faster rate. And whether it is inflammation, heart disease, a stroke, or diabetes, or whatever, all of a sudden, any day could be your last. Over the next few days that followed, she was advised to get her affairs in order, explain her condition to her family, and figure out who would take care of her daughter if the worst would happen. But one thing she dreaded to do was find the words to tell her 9-year-old daughter that she might not be alive to see her turn 10, which was only a few weeks away. But her baby, who she loved to death, repeated those unusual words, "Jesus is going to send you a miracle, Mama." Even though Patricia wasn't an overly religious woman, deep down inside, she hoped it was true. And that is where her story would have ended if an unexpected, life-threatening event that almost wiped me from the face of the earth had not saved her life. I still remember it like it was yesterday. On September 11, 2001, when 2 planes suddenly crashed into the World Trade Center in New York City, my heart sank to the floor as I was watching innocent people jump from the Twin Towers, never to be seen again by their families. And after feeling pissed, hurt, and angry all at the same time, 5 years later, I was deep in the trenches, suited and booted, fighting for my country in the dangerous sands of Iraq. After a week of hitting the ground, I was training the troops day and night in an effort to get them in the best shape possible so they could pass their mandatory physical fitness evaluation, which was in weeks. However, I'm embarrassed to say, at that time, I was failing miserably as a trainer because the soldiers, who were all middle-aged men and women with all types of medical ailments, did not lose an ounce of weight. We tried drinking more water, kicked all carbs to the curb. I even went as far as hiding the salt shaker from the dinner table. However, the needle on the scale wasn't budging and their bodies were not taking shape. But then something incredible happened. Something I would have never thought possible would be shared with me in my tent that night by a young medical student from Thailand by the name of Severino, who was recently kicked out of Harvard Medical because he refused to keep quiet about a classified, undocumented medical breakthrough that he conducted a few months ago. As he was making his rounds, he mentioned he saw me training that evening and could feel my pain and frustrations. He came close to my ear and whispered, "Wes, I can tell you're training from the heart, but what you're doing is backwards. Your exercise routines are too long. The carbs your soldiers are eating should be tripled, and their bodies will continue to store fat and lose energy if you keep kidnapping the salt shaker from the dinner table." As you can imagine, I was confused, but then he gave me the science behind it that blew me away. He said the reason why any man or woman who is not losing weight in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s is because their bodies are experiencing metabolic acidosis. I said, "Metabolic who?" He told me that metabolic acidosis occurs when your kidneys can't get rid of food acid properly. This causes your body to store fat and knock your fat-burning cycles out of sync. And no matter how hard you beat the pavement by exercising to death, wearing trash bags, sitting in hot saunas trying to sweat the fat off, going on restricting diets and pouring water down your throat until you pee clear, you will never lose an ounce of fat. Now, even though right before leaving Harvard and receiving a very prestigious award for a successful medical breakthrough that reverses obesity in adults and children at any age, I was still skeptical. He then shared a practical example that would soon turn the tables on everything I've learned in nutrition in the last 10 years. He said, if you leave trash sitting out in your kitchen for days, what will eventually happen? I said, it will start to stink, decay, and rot. Right. Now, what if you leave the same garbage in your kitchen for several months? Well, the smell would be so bad you would think a dead body was decomposing in the kitchen, and not to mention the maggots that would start to appear. Exactly. He said this is the major problem going on internally in most people's bodies. Countless studies show this is the number one reason 93.6% of people struggle with weight loss, even after working for hours and going on restrictive diets. This trash in scientific terms is called acids. An acidic body holds on to fat to protect itself against the acids that weaken the body's immune system and disrupt metabolic processes. And after years of not addressing the core issue, you will gain even more weight, start feeling sporadic chest pains, and because of the accumulation of fat around your arteries, your heart will start to beat irregularly. Or even worse, your once good cells could transmute into carcinogen cells and lead to incurable heart problems. But get this. Latest studies also state most people in large populations, especially in Western cultures, live highly stressful lives, and this stress produces a harmful acid called cortisol, which is our fight or flight hormone that is produced in your body when you are overwhelmed, experience anxiety attacks, dealing with a divorce, depressed about your weight, or even worried about money issues. But it gets even worse. Most people have no energy, are sluggish and tired all the time, and we eat the wrong foods at the wrong hours of the day, which knocks our natural fat-burning cycles out of balance. Then there's the weight loss seesaw effect, where you lose weight but gain it back much faster, not knowing why. And after seeing the pain of defeat in the eyes of the soldiers, who were all on the brink of giving up, Severino took a deep breath and grabbed me firmly on my right arm and said I have the exact formula that would solve the obesity epidemic that is slowly killing men and women all over the world. And after being kicked out of one of the top universities in the country because I wouldn't keep my mouth shut, I still have my old Harvard medical binder that has the herbs, minerals, and guidelines that will diminish 10% of body fat in any man or woman over the age of 30 in a matter of a few short weeks. And get this, after the first week, the powerful effects of these herbs and minerals, taken in a very specific order, will not only destroy fat, free radicals, heavy metals, and toxins from the body, but it also contains a powerful enzyme that will awaken youthful energy, beautify the skin cells around your body, and also melt triple the fat from the major fat storing points on your stomach and thigh area. Deep down inside, I wanted to believe him. After training so many people for the past 7 years, my biggest challenge was men and women over the age of 30 who suffer from obesity, joint pain, back problems, diabetes, thyroid conditions, and other metabolic diseases. It really was a huge pill to swallow. So the following morning, Severino walked into my tent carrying a small blue binder containing about 21 pages of sloppy handwritten notes. And he said that inside those pages was everything I would need to rejuvenate the cells in anyone's body, regenerate their fat-burning cycles, and kickstart their metabolism back into gear as it did in their 20s. Jokingly, he called it his drug-free Thai method, and he made me swear that I would follow it after he had left. If I'm completely honest, what he wrote down wasn't even really that complicated, but I was very new to some of the all-natural minerals, herbs, and weight-diminishing formulas he gave me. Then, like a bolt of lightning, it hit me. I remember Severino saying that most of these unknown herbs and minerals are eaten daily by some of the most indigenous and healthiest countries in the world, such as Thailand, Japan, and the Philippines. But the most amazing thing was this. Latest studies show for the past 10 years, these countries have one of the lowest obesity, cancer, and heart disease rates in the world. And not only that, they also live the longest and look the youngest. Then it dawned on me that I may be on the verge of a major breakthrough that may revolutionize the health industry, reverse obesity, and slow the aging process to a crawl. So I humbled myself and spent the entire night tearing through every page of the binder, looking forward to sharing it with the soldiers. I met with each soldier privately on Friday evening with the exact plan and instructions that Severino gave me to use during the weekend. And oh boy, I did not expect to be bombarded with such excitement on a Monday morning. Each and every one of them busted through the doors chattering and bragging about how much sleep they got over the weekend and the surge of energy they felt throughout their bodies. But the mind-boggling things was this. 90% of the soldiers lost an average of 3 pounds over the weekend, with light to mild physical activity, and did not change their diet whatsoever. It started becoming more and more likely that Severino might be onto something, as they all were sleeping through the night and waking up with more energy and still feeling a dramatic energy boost as the day progressed. They started feeling more and more mentally focused, even with all those harmful high cholesterol and high blood pressure pills floating around inside their bodies. And that wasn't the most fascinating part. Even though Severino's plan forced them to eat more carbs and add more sodium to their foods, which was different from what the current health industry was preaching, they actually began to lose weight at an accelerated rate within the first week. Almost a pound a day was the average. But even with this accelerated weight loss, they didn't feel tired, and that wasn't the amazing thing. They also had 10 times more energy, felt more strength in their muscles, and looked and felt healthier than they've ever felt in years. Not to mention, they were cheating their butts off on the weekends, eating bread and pasta, tearing into homemade pies shipped by their spouses and moms, scarfing down vanilla and strawberry ice cream, basically doing all the things you'd think someone who is trying to lose weight should absolutely avoid, and as you can well imagine, the base trainer in charge was so furious that I was giving them such foods. That jerk went as far as restricting me to the base to prevent me from getting the delicious snacks and sweet tasty desserts that were all on Severino's list. So I had to go secretly on the internet and fast ship the food Severino had prescribed when he wasn't around. And you won't believe what happened next. After a month, the plan Severino gave me went viral around the base. I was helping more people than I could handle. But the intriguing thing was this. Each soldier was required to take a full-grade physical, and my mouth literally dropped to the floor to see men and women in their 40s with LDL levels at 70, which is almost perfect. Even one of the military doctors was so flabbergasted he couldn't put his finger on how 95% of the soldiers he saw that day had a blood pressure reading of 110/80. These types of results are usually found in young children, newlyweds, and youngsters in their 20s. However, with my own 2 eyes, I saw men and women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s with a long history of obesity, heart and metabolic problems. Lab results come back superb. Then things really started to get crazy because civilians and soldiers crowded my living area every evening, all anxious to know what was in this little blue binder that was changing so many lives for the better. And after barking up the wrong tree for so many years to be slapped over the head with this miracle breakthrough, something tragic would happen that would save the life of Patricia. After giving a handwritten version of Severino's plan to almost 300 men and women, that evening, exhausted, I laid my head down on my cot, dreaming about getting back to the States and sharing Severino's plan with the world, to finally have found the hidden treasure to completely transform anyone's body, and show them undeniable proof that you really can slow down the aging process, rejuvenate every cell in your body, lose all the weight you want, and kick a few of your prescription pills to the curb in just a few short weeks. But late that night, I heard a sound that scared the living daylights out of me. The base was under attack. I jumped out of bed, not wearing much of anything, and dashed to the nearest bunker for safety. The entire base was pitch black because there were unidentified men with green masks scouring the base with fully loaded machine guns. And all I could hear was bullet after bullet and the scream of soldiers and innocent civilians running for their lives. All I could think about was my little girl and boy. Crazy thoughts started to enter my head. Would I ever see them again? Would I be able to have a dad and daughter date with my princess? Would I get the chance to throw a football with my little boy at the park? The feeling of uncertainty, not knowing if tonight would be my last, was the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. After 8 hours of sitting in a bunker, staring down the barrel of my M16 rifle, sweating bullets, fearing the worst, hearing the cries of women and men not knowing if they would ever see their families again, all of a sudden we heard the most beautiful words ever spoken. All clear. It was such a great feeling of relief, almost like the feeling when your heart skips a beat when you see your child run after a ball into a busy intersection, but saved at the last minute by a good Samaritan. With my head to the sky quietly, thanking God for a second chance, I vowed to make it my mission to make a major contribution to the world. The following month, I would exit the military and fly back to the States with a small 12-page handwritten binder that would spark the miraculous change of 104,988 men and women who all struggled with their weight to completely transform their bodies and reclaim their health. After a week of being home, something was burning deep inside of me. And honestly, I was pondering on how I should introduce Severino's method to the world. But something bizarre would happen. I found myself in a very strange place, a place I haven't been in years. I found myself in front of a huge cathedral, and this is where I would meet Patricia Ron, a 45-year-old overweight woman who was losing all hope. And even though she was sitting, cradling her head with her hands, I could see the tears running down her pale face, helpless. So I decided to grab a seat close to her. I greeted her and asked her what was wrong. Whispering quietly so her daughter couldn't hear, she told me she received some bad, life-threatening news at the doctor's office about her health. And in that very moment, the miracle that Patricia's daughter kept repeating would magically appear before her eyes. With my hand on my chin, I thought to myself, I wonder if Severino's plan would work for Patricia like it did so many others. Patricia told me she was over the age of 40, overweight, a diabetic, had high cholesterol, and was on all kinds of high blood pressure medications. She kept beating herself up, asking, why did I wait so long to do something about my health? I grabbed my handkerchief to wipe the tears from her face, and after sharing story after story of all the amazing weight loss stories of men and women who reclaimed their health, boosted their quality of life, and transformed their bodies in a few short weeks, I asked her if she was willing to try Severino's Thai prescription method for the next 30 days. She said, honestly, I don't know how a 12-page binder is going to help me, but at this point, I'm desperate, and I owe it to my little girl to give it a try. That night, I gave her Severino's plan and told her to follow it step by step every day for the next 4 weeks. And this might sound crazy, but she rang my phone almost every day, shouting, almost blowing out my eardrums, screaming that she lost another pound today. And on top of that, her blue eyes lit up like a blowtorch on day 7 because she was able to easily stick both of her arms in her jeans with room to spare. And the same doctor that told her to basically start planning her funeral was floored when he saw that her body looked thinner, her face was smaller, her skin was glowing, and even her belly had gone down. Her thighs were lean, and her bum was smooth as a baby's bottom. And she no longer had to take any high blood pressure or cholesterol pills. And on the last week of using Severino's plan, she discovered she lost over 37 pounds. Patricia's friends and family were amazed by what had happened to her. They called her and asked her what her secret was, if there was some sort of experimental medication she was taking or some unknown diet system. Many of them had their own health conditions. They were scared about things like high cholesterol, diabetes, even life-threatening prostate cancer. Others were simply fighting a losing battle with their weight. They had been putting on pounds for years. Their stomachs and muffin tops were growing bigger and bigger each day. Their back fat and man boobs was getting more and more annoying, and they were miserable seeing the same body with no change, feeling unattractive and out of shape. But something even more amazing happened when Patricia surprisingly called me on the phone excited. She said her daughter would run home every day in tears from being teased at school because of her weight. And the doctor said she was a few points from becoming a child with diabetes for the rest of her life. But her daughter did something fascinating, something every small child does with their parents. She started to copycat her mom, and in the first 7 days of mimicking her mom, following exactly what was in Severino's plan to lose 6 pounds of fat, and boy, she was happy. Without slowing down, this gave me the confidence to share it with my weight loss camp, which at that time was only 6 people strong, but boy, did it grow fast. In 14 days after giving everyone a copy of Severino's plan, we grew to over 150 men and women per night who were all dropping pounds faster than ever before, restoring their health and reclaiming their youth, being active again like they did in their 20s. I shared it with dozens of friends and family members, and soon their friends and their friends' friends were all seeing major changes in their body. With the help of social media, suddenly, there were thousands of people around the country doing the exact same thing, and people would flood my inbox, sharing their successful stories with me. They all experienced a dramatic reduction in body fat and an incredible boost in energy, optimal lab results for all their vitals, and perfect health. And as I received emotional call after emotional call and hundreds of Facebook messages from both people I knew well and complete strangers thanking me for sharing this plan with them and for changing their lives, it became clear that I had a new calling in life to get this newfound health breakthrough in the hands of the masses, even at the risk of top gym chains and health industries coming after me to bust my balls. Because really, I shouldn't have been alive. I still remember that night in Iraq seeing bullets fly over my head, and so many of my good friends who were injured, and even a few sadly lost their lives. I believe this was a sign from above, and I would have to be a pretty selfish jerk if I didn't pay it forward and share this plan with others to beat the odds and regain their health, their vitality, and their youth. So for the next few weeks, I approached Women's Health, Dr. Oz, Men's Health, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, and even was lucky enough to get a response from Oprah's assistant after sending 1,235 emails, who all slammed the door in my face repeatedly in an effort to get this method out quickly. Maybe because I was a small fish in a big pond. Who knows? So the only viable solution was to take this directly to the public myself. So I put the gloves on and I got busy. I took the same blue binder Severino had given me and turned it into a fully organized, simple-to-follow total fat diminishing wellness blueprint. I made a list of dozens of the most powerful herbs and minerals you should add to your diet right now if you want to lose fat and erase years from your body, radically regenerate damaged cells, and reverse the effects of aging to turn the clock back 10 years in as little as a few short weeks. And a list containing all the supposed health foods and the vegetables that are secretly wrecking your health and keeping you fat. And the absolute little-known body-healing smoothie recipes you need in your body to enhance your youthful quality of life and rid your body of harmful toxins, heavy metals, and free radicals. Plus, I added the exact steps to restore your eating cycles, to shift your metabolism from first to fifth gear in the next 72 hours, which may piss off the Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig folks, but this is essential to your long-term health. But of course, I didn't stop there. Beyond just listing all the nutrients and tasty foods you need, I also included the fastest weight loss week ever that starts today. To kickstart your fat-burning cycles into overdrive to shed 5 pounds of fat from your belly in the first week, even without doing a single minute of cardio, which, step by step, outlines a specific schedule containing the new herbs and minerals you should consume first thing in the morning and in what quantities. Even if you want to lose 30 pounds or more and anatomically slow down your aging as much as 8 years in the first month, everything is presented in simple step-by-step fashion. It is easy to understand, and Severino gives you all of the science behind what we are doing. And we also give you a day-by-day progressive tracking formula, so you can measure your fat percentages versus muscle growth each week without having to pay a single cent or paying a copay at the doctor's office to get your results. so you will know for sure that you're losing fat and gaining muscle. We have nicknamed this guide the Fat Diminisher System, and out of the 104,988 others who have tried it for themselves, the average first-month weight loss is about 22 pounds. People like Brandy in Toledo, Ohio, lost 30 pounds in the first month. Brianna in Charleston, West Virginia, who lost 20 pounds and 3 dress sizes in 4 weeks before her wedding. And Nancy Babson from Yakima, Washington, who lost more than 53 pounds in 2.5 months. It is important to understand that this isn't just about a quick fix. Yes, you will lose weight, repair damaged cells, and rejuvenate your body rapidly, but the Fat Diminisher is also designed to make you 100% certain that you keep the weight off for good. That is actually what makes Severino's blueprint so unique and special. It is not a gunshot approach to your health, and we fully understand everyone has different needs. So we simply give you the tools and knowledge you need to achieve your optimal level of health. We show you the why and the how and let you approach your health in the way that works best for you. That is also why we give you those tracking charts so you can monitor your own metabolic rate and internal health on your own and make adjustments to your diet as you see fit. There's no calorie counting, strict dieting, or other harsh rules that you have to follow. There is no starving yourself or mail-order meals to buy. And there is certainly no extreme exercise plan because, like we've already discussed, over-exercising will deplete your energy and starve your body of the nutrients it needs to survive. However, if you just want to kill your belly fat and get rid of that muffin top, I'm also going to include a simple-to-follow 4-minute belly shred video along with a little-known belly detox formula that is in your kitchen cabinet right now that will melt several inches from your waist so you can look good at your next wedding, anniversary, or high school reunion. Or if you need to lose 50 pounds like Rebecca and Jim did. If so, go back to page 33 in the book and you will find out how to fix your fat-burning cycles in the next 72 hours to do just that. And even if you're not interested in losing any weight, but just want more energy and to feel healthier, go back to page 64 and do exactly what it says to destroy the free radicals and toxins that are proliferating in your body, absorbing your energy, aging you, and even putting you at the risk of inflammation and heart disease. Fat Diminisher will tell you exactly what you need to do to make that happen. So given everything that is above, it should be pretty clear that there's nothing else like the Fat Diminisher on the planet. It is a fully loaded system that's filled with the tools you need to not only quickly lose weight and regain your physique, but also completely turn around your entire health, even if you are severely ill and on the edge of just throwing in the towel like Patricia was. Of course, that's not to say there are no other options out there, but think about those for a second. You could continue to try every new fad diets and joint-busting DVD programs that hit the market. But the simple fact is this: if these systems really worked, if their claims really were true, then why does the Center for Disease Control still report a 35% increase in obesity each year? And an increasing count of 3,500 people per day are still dying from heart disease and malignant tumors. These are our mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles who just didn't know what you will know after using this system. You could try workouts like Insanity, P90X, and hurt your joints or starve yourself eating small portion-sized food in those ridiculous colorful containers like the 21-Day Fix, or use the out-of-date Weight Watchers point system, which throws your body into survival mode where, by the way, it will start hoarding the few bits of nutrients that do enter your body and convert them into fat. I still blame myself for telling people for so many years to eat more salads and drink more water until I realized that doing this was depriving them of essential nutrients, wrecking their metabolism, and causing them to binge at night and gain more weight faster. You could spend $300 per month on a certified trainer and nutritionist who all take silly one-day courses to get certified but have no experience on how the body digests food, how the fat-burning cycles work, and are uninformed of the metabolic changes when you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Or you can use the Fat Diminisher and grab the same personal detox secrets celebrity trainers Jillian Michaels, Shaun T, and Tony Horton will never tell you about. However, in the next 3 minutes, you'll be able to use these powerful secrets for yourself. Then there are damaging weight loss pills that send debilitating toxic chemicals straight to your brain to falsely tell your body it's not hungry. Have you ever took a second to read the side effects or watch the musical weight loss commercials as they tell you how good you will feel after buying their pill? But let me tell you what you don't hear. You don't hear the risk and body-harming side effects of these pills such as inflammation, epilepsy, depression, nervousness, constipation, dizziness, headache, nausea, fatigue, increased blood pressure, insomnia, oily spotting, just to name a few. But of course, you probably already know that. I mean, imagine going to your doctor after taking your weight loss pills, expecting great news, but he dreadfully tells you that your BMI has increased to 45, and your blood pressure and cholesterol levels are both through the roof. And then there is the fat diminisher system. You're not subject to any strict rules, you don't starve yourself, you don't take pills or medications, and you don't work out like a gym rat. You simply follow the simple, biological, nutritional-based formula inside and put more of the foods you like back into your diet and get one day closer to the thrilling results of optimal health for decades to come. And considering my system has already been validated both by the scientific community, top physicians around the world, and by more than 104,988 others just like you, it should be pretty clear why when we first brought it to market, we thought about charging $297 to get access to it. And that is dramatically less than what you would spend for a year's worth of doctor's visits, prescription meds, and health insurance premiums, or even 3 sessions with a trainer. And yet, once you have access to the easy-to-follow system, the little-known herbs and nutrients, powerful body detox and anti-aging smoothie formulas, the healthy foods you should avoid at all costs, the whole wellness tracking charts, all of which are completely scalable to your specific needs. And don't forget the 4-minute belly shredding formula to slim and trim your belly fast. You will enjoy long-lasting health. You will lose as many pounds as you desire. You will reverse the effects of aging on a cellular level. You will reduce your risk of disease by 90% or more in just a few short months. And that is not even mentioning the things that can't be measured in money, such as the security and comfort of knowing that you will be there to see your children and grandchildren adorable faces for decades to come. Imagine enjoying your golden years you've earned, taking incredible vacations, enjoying the outdoors, pursuing all of your hobbies, and while you're doing all of it, you will look and feel younger than ever before. In fact, people will think you are lying when you share your age with them. All because you now know the truth, and so will the ones you care about most, as your children and grandchildren, who depend on you with their lives. Yes, I think $297 is a steal, and a lot of people have emailed me saying we should be charging a lot more. But you know what? This isn't about money. The fat diminisher that Severino gave me saved my training career and Patricia's life. Looking back, I shouldn't be here right now, but someone up above decided to keep me here, so I could share this system with you. What kind of man would I be if I tried to get rich off a second chance at life? How could I look at myself in the mirror? I couldn't, which is why you're not going to have to pay anywhere close to $297 to get your hands on the fat diminisher system today. In fact, you won't even have to pay $197 or $97, which is less than the cost of 2 personal training sessions or a P90X or a Beachbody bundle. Instead, when you say yes to the fat diminisher today, you will make the commitment to save your own life while regaining the physique and vitality you have experienced in 10, 20, 30, and even 40 years. You will simply be asked to help cover my website maintenance and distribution cost by investing a meager $57.95 in your long-term health and wellness. Now, I'm sure you agree that this offer is of undeniable value, and you're probably ready to get started right now. However, before you do, as a special thank you for watching this limited time presentation, I'm going to go and do you even one better. Today, you're not even going to pay the massively discounted price of $57.95. Through today's special video presentation only, you're going to get immediate access to everything for a one-time, single secure investment of only $37. If you want to make that decision today and to be given a simple, easy-to-follow, and physician-trusted, scientifically backed way to rapidly lose weight while turning back the clock, act now by clicking the Add to Cart button below. Right after that button, you will be taken to a secure checkout page that looks like this. Once you have entered your information, you will gain instant access to the entire fat diminisher system. You'll be able to view all the detox and anti-aging smoothie recipes, the little-known herbs and minerals, the easy-to-follow delicious meal plan, the healthy veggies and fruits you should avoid if you have a thyroid condition, the fat-burning cycle section to reset your metabolism in the next 72 hours, plus a list of sweet desserts and tasty snacks you can add back into your diet most diet plans say no to. And I'll also add in the super nutrient that will boost your sex life and stamina as if you were in your 20s starting tonight, and everything else right from your computer, tablet, or smartphone, without waiting weeks for things to arrive in the mail. You can download all the materials or even print out as many copies as you would like and begin the program 2 minutes from now. The permanent and total solution to your health and well-being is just 20 seconds away. And all it takes is a click of a button. So go ahead and make your move now. If you're still feeling hesitant and wondering if this will work for you, there is one other thing I should mention to you. Your small investment today is covered by a 100% 60-day money-back, no-cost guarantee. I realize telling you that you should be eating more foods that you love, eating more carbs, adding more seasoning to your foods, and reducing your workouts to the single digits sounds pretty damn crazy. And even though I have thousands of stories of people who struggled with blood sugar and high cholesterol, but suddenly saw the incredible results of their lab test returning to optimal levels, that you still may need a little push in the right direction. I know this can be the single most important decision you ever make in your life, and I could never live with myself if I didn't do everything within my power to get this into your hands today. Which is why all I ask is that you say maybe to the fat diminisher right now by pushing the Add to Cart button you see below this video. Then get your instant access to the guide, the rejuvenating, life-changing smoothie recipes, the fastest weight loss week blueprint, the fat burning cycle reset tools, the list of dozens of minerals and herbs to instantly reverse the acidification in your body, the 4-minute belly shred formula, what veggies and fruits you should stay away from, and discover the ones you should add to diminish the fat forever. Find out when and what you should be eating to rapidly propel you faster to the transformation you desire. Look, take a full 2 months to try this out for yourself, and if for any reason you are not satisfied or you see the scale going in the wrong direction and your health not rapidly restored, simply send an email to the address we give you on the instant download page, and I will immediately refund you double the amount you invested with no questions asked. Yes, you heard me right. I said I will refund you instantly if the fat diminisher system does not work for you. No questions asked. That is the level of confidence I have in this system for you, and all I ask is that you give it an honest 60-day go. I'm taking all the risk here, and you are reaping all of the benefits, and that's fine. This is about reclaiming your life, and if on the extremely low chance you are not happy, I don't want a single dime from you. The choice should be an easy one, but I can't guarantee how long I will be here to give you this hush-hush system about the list of health foods you should watch out for, the little-known herbs and nutrients that will make you look and feel younger, smoothie recipes that will boost your vitality and double your quality of life. And don't forget the 4-minute belly shredder formula, packed full of simple, 6-pack tweaks you can do right before bed. Get started now by clicking the Add to Cart button below. Just imagine if my site was taken down tomorrow and I couldn't share with you all of the powerful herbs, fat-diminishing minerals, and nutrients you've been desperately searching for. Which means if you are ready to stop dieting, stop starving yourself, stop wasting your life at the gym, stop being a slave to your medication, you must act now by clicking the Add to Cart button you see below this video screen. This presentation is about to end. There is only a few seconds left to make this 100% risk-free decision and ultimately whether you desire to reclaim decades of perfect health. It is only something you can choose. You could just let this video end and just click away without trying the fat diminisher for yourself. That's fine, and is certainly your right. But if you make that decision, what is going to change? Are you going to try another bust-your-butt workout program or another useless diet that doesn't work? Are you going to keep exhausting yourself, wasting money at the gym without the results you want, waking up feeling tired, sluggish every morning with body aches, and dealing with that pounding migraine you can't get rid of? How would you lose the weight you need to? How would you repair the damaged cells inside your body? How would you stay immune from metabolic and other life-ending diseases? You could decide to do nothing at all and let your health remain a ticking time bomb, something that would blow up in your face at any second, just like the close call Patricia experienced, almost losing her child to a health problem she didn't even know she had. None of these options are good solutions, and you already know that, which is why you need to click the Add to Cart button below and try the fat diminisher for yourself right now, 100% risk-free. Get the step-by-step guides, the food list, the smoothies, the herbs and minerals, the 4-minute belly shred formula, everything, and see how easy it is to burn away the fat that's been clinging to your body for years to turn your metabolism into a 24-hour fat-burning machine. To maintain healthy cellular levels that can fight disease, remove toxins that are sticking to your arteries so you can look and feel decades younger in a matter of weeks. The choice is yours. To a long, healthy, and beautiful life, I am Wes Virgin. Still here? That is okay. I know we have covered a lot of stuff in this presentation, and you still may have some questions about what you saw. To make things easier for you, I will go ahead and take a few seconds now to answer some of the most common questions people ask me about the fat diminisher. Question: why do I keep reverting back to my old, out-of-shape self? Answer: you work out for a few months and get in shape and fall back to the old habits because you were not conditioned mentally, only physically. Physical fitness is only half the battle. All fitness is 80% mental. Gyms and personal trainers give folks a temporary band-aid but never address the actual issue. The fat diminisher system includes secret mindset strategies to make your journey so much easier. Question: what results can I expect in the first week? Answer: every day, you will notice how simple my methods are and how the secret fat-burning super minerals and nutrients will speed up the fat-burning process even while you rest at night. Not everyone is the same, but after the first week with the fat diminisher, most people experience one or more of the following: more energy, 5 pounds lighter, joint relief, self-motivation, happiness, and a positive change in their physiological states. Question: how can simple minerals, nutrients, smoothies, and eating more carbs benefit me? Answer: well, like I mentioned during the presentation you just saw, a lot of foods most believe are healthy can slow down your metabolism because they lack the amount of nutrients and enzymes to destroy fat and toxins. Question: what happens after I click Add to Cart? Answer: once you have clicked the Add to Cart button that is right below this video, you'll be taken to the secure checkout page. Just enter your information and then you will be given an instant access to the entire Fat Diminisher program. You can view all the materials, the list, and the guides right on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can also download everything and print out as many copies as you would like. Question: tell me about the guarantee again? Answer: sure. Because this program saved Patricia Ron's life and I truly believe it can give you back decades of healthy living as well, I want to make it as easy as possible for everyone to get their hands on it, and that means removing all of the risk so it is a no-brainer decision for you. Once you have clicked that Add to Cart button below, you will get a full 60 days to try the program out for yourself. And if you're not satisfied for any reason whatsoever, you simply send me an email and I will refund double your investment today with no questions asked. Question: how long will this program be available for? Answer: it's hard to say. Obviously, Severino and I wanted to keep this presentation online as long as possible, and we want to help as many people as possible. There are a lot of powerful interests, however, that are very determined to shut us down. If we get hit with a lawsuit from one of the diet conglomerates or even Big Pharma, we might have to take this website offline. In other words, if you're ready to change your life, you might have to act right now.